So he orders his fucking Stromboli. It literally takes 2.5 hours to make this Stromboli. All right, what is happening, roadies? Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another episode of Hell on Wheels. Storytime Friday here at Roadie Free Radio, where I read you a chapter out of this book right here. Hell on Wheels, a Tour Stories compilation by Greg Jacobs. Don't forget, you can grab your copy of this original version that came out back in the 90s. Great little compilation of tour stories here. If you've ever been out on the road, I'm sure you can relate to a lot of these. If you use that Amazon link in the description, you can find a copy out there, or you can wait a few more months, till sometime this summer when the University of Hell Press is putting out a new, revised, and updated version of this book with a ton of new stories that Greg went out to do. And don't forget, stay tuned. Greg will be on the show sometime this summer to help talk us through this whole thing and how he did it and why he did it and all that good stuff and what he's up to now. So thank you, Greg, for letting me do this, man. Peace on you, my man. Also, guys, don't forget, One of One Productions, the sponsor of this show, the podcast solutions company out there. If you're looking to start a podcast, take your podcast to the next level, these guys have all the goods that you need to go ahead and start your show. Whatever you need to do with your show, you can find it at oneofoneproductions.com, along with the Roadie Free Radio podcast kit that comes complete with a Roswell Mini K87 microphone, Focusrite interface, headphones from AKG, XLR cable, a case, everything you need, plus a sticker and a button to get you going on your Roadie Free Radio podcast adventure. So you're going to want to check that out, and you're going to want to use the code Roadie Free Radio when you check out. Helps me out a little bit, helps those guys keep an awesome value on each kit. So head over and check it out, oneofoneproductions.com. All right, today's story is about the band Naked Raygun. Naked Raygun. Here we go. Pierre Kesdy was interviewed by Greg Jacobs at the Casbah in San Diego. We had another story maybe last month about the Casbah in San Diego. Yes, we did. All right, here we go. For those of you paying attention, why don't you go ahead and shoot me a note, tell me which story it was. Maybe I'll send you something if you get it right. Here we go. Pierre. This is when John Haggerty had just quit Naked Raygun. So we had a new guitar player, Bill Stevens. Our regular roadie couldn't make it, so I got this Marine friend of mine to do it. Now, he's a total Marine. We had to do some special gig in New York. The roadie and Bill drove out with the van. The rest of us in the band, flew out. After the show, everybody else except me, the roadie, and Bill Stevens drove back. We figured, fuck, New York to Chicago, 17 hours, we'll just go right through. So we get out of New York. It's about 5 o'clock, and the roadie says, I got to get something to eat. I'm fucking hungry. No. Let's just keep driving. And he has to stop at a gas station in Podunk, Pennsylvania. And this place was ancient. It was from the 1930s. He looks through the dusty old menu and he sees Stromboli on there. He has to have a Stromboli. So he orders his fucking Stromboli. It literally took 2.5 hours to make this Stromboli. We just sat in this fucking gas station and they kept saying, oh, it's coming. 2.5 hours at this gas station for this Stromboli. So finally, we get back on the road. We kept driving and we got tired, so we pull over at a hotel. The next morning, we get out, get right on the Ohio State Turnpike, and I'm driving the van. All of a sudden, you just hear this explosion, and smoke starts pouring through the dash. White smoke starts pouring through the dash, and I thought, white smoke? It must be a radiator hose. So I pull over to the side of the road. We pile out of the van, and the smoke is starting to come out the front now. We were thinking, shit, a little radiator hose. And then we thought, oh, geez, I hope it's not on fire. All three of us look down below the van, and as soon as we look down, flames shoot out from underneath the van. All these semis pull over. They've got their fire extinguishers out. They couldn't put it out. We start hauling our gear out, throwing it down the ditch. So we had drums rolling down the ditch, amps rolling down the ditch. We were trying to get everything out. Now the smoke is turning black. The flames are up in front. We were all trying to pull all of our personal shit out of there, but the smoke got too bad and the big amps were still in there. I said, fuck it, just let it burn. The Marine guy says, oh no, we got to go in and get it. He fucking goes in there. So I figured if he's going in there, I'm going in there too. Luckily, the wind direction changed towards the front of the van. We got the amps out. When the 2 amps were out, flames started shooting out in the back. The guitar player says, I left my leather jacket in there. What does the Marine do? He says, I'll go get it. Fucking flames were shooting out of the van. He jumps in there, grabs the leather jacket, and comes out totally unscathed. By then, the fire department showed up and they just let the thing burn. The fuel line was feeding the fire. It burned to a crisp. Then I called Jeff Pizzotti, the singer. He had already gotten back and he was at work. He had all the insurance papers and stuff. And I said, Jeff, guess what? He said, what? I said, the van burned. And he goes, just get it fixed and drive back. You know, put it on your credit card or something. And I said, no, you don't understand. Toast. He goes, well, stay overnight somewhere and get it fixed and come back. I said, no, you don't understand. The van is fucking gone. There was literally nothing. All the tires burned. Everything burned. It was just a metal hull sitting on the highway. It took Jeff 5 minutes to realize that the van was gone. Plus, we had 1,000 t-shirts that were not insured. So we lost about $5,000 in shirt. That was pretty hairy. Greg, how'd you guys get home? Pierre. It was weird. They had the whole towway closed off. Traffic was piled up for miles. It was about an hour before the van burned down. The state troopers drove me to the Toledo airport and arranged for me to get a van somewhere. We got a van, and some other guy with a pickup truck in the meanwhile had taken our gear off the highway for us. We gave him $25 or $50, whatever. Yeah, so it turned out all right except for losing those shirts. It was pretty fucking hairy, though. Man, Naked Raygun. Fires on the highway. I'm sure many of you out there touring have had a fire or two in your touring history, and I would love to hear about it. If you want to send me a note, you can do so, or you can leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel, to the podcast. It really means a lot. And thank you for leaving a review about the podcast. Also means a lot, and it also helps the show grow. So keep spreading the word. It's good stuff. Big shout out to Greg Jacobs again for letting me do this for him, and to oneofoneproductions.com for sponsoring the show. Really appreciate it. And guys, don't forget, if you want to support a roadie out there or a touring crew member, you can by picking yourself up a button, a keychain, a sticker over at the roadiefreeradio.com merch store. And a portion of those proceeds will go to musiccares.org or roadiecare.com to help somebody out who could use it right now. I know tours are coming back. I know it's happening, but you know, every little bit we can do helps everybody out there. All right, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one, and I'll see ya down the road.